Hi class, my name is Daniel Mears and today I'll be giving my presentation on hearing impairment. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to talk about how common hearing impairment or hearing loss is in America. Then we're going to talk about the types of hearing loss and some of the causes. And then we'll address how we as teachers can recognize hearing loss in students. And then we will talk about how some techniques and tools that we as teachers can specifically use to better the learning experience for our students. The first thing I want to point out with this slide is the bottom one. It says 15% of school-aged children have some degree of hearing loss. I want to stress that this is only the students that have been diagnosed. Most studies have been showing that the number is much higher, but only about 15% of students are actually getting diagnosed. So it is very important. Just because a student doesn't have an IEP or a doctor's note does not mean that they might not have hearing loss. And it's important that we as teachers really look for signs in our students so we can help them gain and have a better learning experience. There are three basic types of hearing loss. Conductive hearing loss, which is just issues or malformations with the outer or middle ear, or some damage to the bone. Oftentimes, this kind of hearing loss can be reversible by medicine or surgery if needed. The next one is sensory neural. This is problems with the inner ear. This is kind of one of those things, once you lose it, it's gone. There's no way to really get it back. And then the mixed hearing loss is just a combination of the two. It's also kind of an umbrella. It covers many other types of hearing loss. So here's just a few basic causes. For conductive, just malformation of the outer ear or the ear canal. Anything that it blocks or does not allow sound to truly travel through the ear uh, is considered conductive, as well as ear infections. Anything that accumulates fluid in the ear um, can cause and will cause a form of hearing loss. I mean, even your common cold does that. Uh, your sensory neural ones. The exposure to loud noise. This damages the hair cells, which once they are damaged in the ear, that relay the message to the neurons, they can't be grow back. They don't come back into and start working again. The next one is head trauma. Once those neurons are damaged, they don't get replaced. And then disease. Diseases can destroy um, the inner ear, and it just many types of and rare diseases. And once again, the mixed is just a combo of the two. Most professionals agree that when addressing the mixed scenario, it's best to work on the conductive and then move on to the sensory neural. Now we're going to talk about how to recognize this in students. The first thing we need to do is we need to look for those students that are asking the teacher to repeat what they're supposed to be doing. If a student is like, hey teacher, what am I supposed to be doing? And you just went on for 5 minutes about what they're supposed to be doing, that could be a sign of hearing loss. They're just not recognizing and understanding everything that you're saying, which can cause some confusion. Um, Hearing loss can cause some development delay in reading and spelling and other language arts. It's just kind of that avalanche effect. Delayed reaction, because they have to take a little longer to process what you're saying. Sometimes a student will not react immediately. You'll call their name, and then a few seconds later than the normal person, then they will respond. So these are just a few. Also look for students that are asking their fellow students and kind of following them, because that is another sign of hearing loss. A couple ways that we can make students succeed is first off communicating with the family, coming up with a nice, solid communication plan with the family helps eliminate that question mark of when the child is not there, or when the student is not there, what they're supposed to be doing or what the teacher expects. IEP, students with hearing loss qualify for an IEP no matter what the severity of the damage is. Microphones and speakers, a lot of public schools are moving to something like this because hearing loss is such an issue. They are giving their teacher little clip-on microphones, and they are establishing speakers throughout the classroom to project the teacher's voice so students can have a better learning experience. When you know that there is a student that has a hearing loss, physical arrangement and where you place yourself is extremely important. You want the student up front or wherever you are giving the most instruction. And when you give that instruction, you want to be facing them, not towards a chalkboard, and you want to speak very clearly. Another few tools are things like hearing aids, and even for those who have lost their hearing, cochlear implants. These are just a few tools and a few ways to recognize um, what we as teachers can do to help students with hearing loss be successful. These are my sources. I hope you guys enjoyed the presentation. I hope it helps you um, help your students with that have hearing loss. Thank you.